Welcome to the More Than Just Dumbbells podcast. My name's Jason Lindsay.
And my name is Kitty Truax.
Yes. Kitty, do you have a favorite vacation destination?
We've talked about it before, but I think Belize is on the top of it. Nope, Switzerland. One that would
This is
never,
almost like yellow cake
I know,
and
yellow
raspberries.
cake, raspberries.
So
Belize was great for tropical,
okay.
right? For beaches, for
Yeah.
all that stuff. But if it's for scenery and immersing yourself in the life
Yeah.
of, I would say Switzerland.
Do you know who lives in Zurich?
You're going to tell me.
Tina Turner.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. She's been there for like
Simply
30
the
years.
best.
That's another documentary, HBO Max, that you would
Okay.
like.
All right, man.
Yeah, Tina's wonderful.
I
Still
love
with
Tina.
us. Still
Yeah.
with us.
Yes, thankfully.
And I think her
Proud
health.
Mary.
I think her health's a little not great, but she's 80-some years old, and what a wonderful woman. Yeah, she moved to Zurich years ago, and I think she actually gave up U.S. citizenship
Oh, wow.
recently, or,
Okay.
or sometime in the
More
last
power
few
to you.
years. Yeah, but did you go to Zurich?
No.
So what part of Switzerland did you go to?
Lake Geneva.
Oh, heard of it.
Yeah. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was swimming in Lake Geneva.
Why did you go there?
Well, crazy story. These girlfriends of mine, on Christmas Eve, one of them found tickets round trip to Paris for $525.
Okay.
Round trip. So we fly into Paris, we take a train to Switzerland, and then we fly to Spain for a little bit, take a plane back to Switzerland, and then back to Paris and home. So we did a little trip ski.
Did you stay in youth hostels?
No, thankfully.
Yeah, would you
we
stay
stayed in Airbnbs.
Oh, you did?
And we also had friends, or one of the girls on the trip had friends in Switzerland that used to work here in Minnesota.
Yeah.
She nannied their kids for
Yeah.
like 12 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, come out to Switzerland.
Yeah.
It's open. So son of a bee, we went to Switzerland. Not a spot that I would have on my radar.
yeah.
But really glad I went.
No, it's funny you bring it up. It's
gorgeous.
been on my radar. I used to date a gal who she's a world traveler. I mean, it's years ago, so I haven't talked to her in like 8, 9, 10 years. So I'm sure she's been even more places. I mean, you name the city, country, she's been there.
Wow.
For the most
Very
part.
cool.
And she's
that's a goal.
done Switzerland before, at least once.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. It literally looked like I was in a postcard.
And she painted and she had pictures, and she
Yes.
painted a picture in my head verbally.
and we went there
of-
during Wine Fest. We had no idea. So
Wow.
you go to all these wineries and they just hand you cheese and meat and wine. And I'm like,
bonus.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Was there a language barrier issue or no in Switzerland?
Well, it was French. It was French. So
Yeah,
I took French in high school. So
Oh.
I know,
Yeah.
medium French.
I
but-
know. Yeah. I
but
barely
the kids
know
that
English.
we were with definitely knew what to do. So that was
I barely know English, and it's like I can't. I'm willing to learn enough, but I just haven't done anything. I haven't went anywhere. The passport's coming. I'll do
Good for you.
Belize. I'll do Belize,
for
which
you.
is just for fun because to get out of Minnesota in the winter. But I'm thinking Barcelona.
Oh, that would be. I went to Barcelona.
You've been there.
That's where I've been.
So
Yep.
would I like Barcelona?
Yes, 1000%. The tapas.
I don't know. Oh, what is that, like little plates?
Yep, the
and
little
stuff?
plates. Yep, you just go in and grab your little plates. It's amazing.
I can get tacos.
It was phenomenal. There's sangria. There are pictures of sangria.
Not gonna do
yeah,
that.
You can,
but-
you can do tacos.
I mean,
but I think there's much more better.
I'll
that
do
you can get in Spain.
cerveza and cigar.
Sure, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know why I asked you that, but I'll tell you. Well, probably because I'm going to Belize. But I'll tell you a place in the United States
Do tell.
that nobody shouldn't say nobody. Let me rephrase that. That I don't think a lot of people think of as a vacation spot, but it's not a bad option. It's Boise, Idaho.
You know, I actually, as I was looking at our guests'
Yeah.
Instagram, doing my deep dive, there was a spot in Boise, Idaho that literally looked like it was on a tropical locale.
Really?
The water was crystal clear blue.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Really?
Yes.
I've been to Boise twice.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, who's
Shout
been
out to
who's
Curtis.
been to Boise twice? Yeah. So no.
Oh, Boise.
No, again, it's mountainous. There's a river. And I was there in the
So
winter.
it's got a bunch of topography. is
I
what
was
I'm
there
hearing.
in the winter. It's probably a better place to go in July than it is January, I'm sure.
Kind of like Minnesota.
Yes, 100, as Curtis
Yes.
would say.
Yes.
And yeah, but the reason I bring it up is because our guest today lives there. Is that accurate?
that is accurate.
And what is this person's name?
Lisa Sierra Davis. Recently married. Congratulations, Lisa.
So she went from a Sierra to a Davis.
Correct.
And
Okay. Literally, this woman is the poster child for Tom Petty's Free Fallin'.
I saw that in your deep dive
Yes.
notes. I don't know what that means.
You know, she loves Jesus in America too, loves her mama. Like, literally, if you were singing Tom Petty's Free Fallin', this is the woman that I would see as who Tom Petty's singing about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Absolutely.
Dig it.
Just blonde. She shoots guns. She's a camper. She's a hunter. She's a patriot.
So, wow.
Yeah.
Are you going to ask her?
I
If
ask
she-
her what?
If she's a Tom Petty fan, specifically
Well, I'm sure
that
she
song.
is.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope she gets the reference.
Can you imagine not being a Tom Petty fan? Who'd want to be with around that person?
Not I said.
Do you think there's anybody out there that's like, I hate Tom Petty?
Do you think anyone is out there like, I hate Freddie Mercury?
You.
Just
Besides you, yeah.
I don't hate Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
I just don't listen much.
Have you seen the movie?
About Tom Petty?
No, Freddie Mercury.
No,
Queen.
we've already talked about this. I have not yet seen Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, you should. I think you'd like it.
I think I would too.
I really do.
I really do.
So Lisa Sierra Davis, what does she do?
She's an actress, a model, a singer,
and so what?
And a motorcycle enthusiast. She actually owns her own. She's the CEO of Gasser Customs Motorcycles.
So she's quite the personality.
She's
you
really
say.
freaking cool.
So what are you most excited to ask her?
Well, honestly, I kind of want to know about how she got into being an actress. I know she's done movies on Lifetime. I know she's done probably some stuff for Netflix, whatever that looks like. I want to know, how did she even break into that? Or did she always know that she wanted to do that? And how do you marry motorcycles and movies?
Great points, great questions.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Let's stop talking about her. Let's talk with her.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's do it.
You're listening to the More Than Just Dumbbells podcast, sponsored by PowerBlock. After the show, head on over to powerblock.com and you'll find a wide range of adjustable dumbbells and resources to help you build the new you in 2022. We're PowerBlock, your resolution solution. And now, back to the show.
And we're back, everybody. Kitty, we're back. We got a super cool personality joining us via Zoom all the way from, I think you're in Boise, Idaho. Lisa, is that Lisa Sierra Davis, or is it just Lisa Davis? I know you recently got married. What do you go by?
It's Lisa Davis now.
Nice.
Congratulations, Mrs. Davis.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Very recently, like within a year?
No, like in August.
Holy
this year.
Yeah,
Whoa.
wow. Okay,
Matter
super
of
recent.
months ago.
Holy moly.
Just got back from their honeymoon.
Rock and roll with your bad self.
So Lisa Davis, you are in Boise, Idaho, but is that where you grew up? Where did you grow up?
No, actually. I just moved here. I was in California for 10 years almost. I'm staring out at the snow. It's a little crazy.
Okay, we're in Minnesota, so you understand. We're
Oh,
right
you
there
get
with
that,
you, sister.
Yeah, so this is definitely a new chapter for me, but I'm excited about it.
And born in LA?
No, actually, I'm North. I was born in Toronto, Canada, actually.
Yeah. Hey, close to us.
We've had many Canadians on.
We have had lots of Canadians.
So and by the way, we have a mutual friend, Curtis Reynolds, who lives in Boise.
Shout out.
And,
yes, I love Curtis.
Yeah.
And Curtis, I talk to him almost every day. It is uncharacteristically cold this week in Boise. You guys have like single digit weather right now. It's not normally.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I was telling my husband today, especially because he's born and raised in California. So it's so funny seeing the snow like this through his eyes, because we went out to the Bronco to go eat some lunch. And he's like, I don't even know what to do. How do I get all the snow off the Bronco? And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm having PTSD about being back in the snow that I wanted to get away from. So it's kind of crazy.
Growing up in Toronto, you have snow, no doubt. Yeah. So how does one get from Toronto to Hollywood, to movies?
Yes.
Tell us about that journey.
Well, I have been acting and modeling since I was like 6 years old up there.
Wow.
It's been a long time for me. Done, theater, film and TV, commercials, all that kind of jazz. And I've always loved it. So basically I always had the dream of moving to Hollywood, Tinseltown. And I love being outside, but it's funny how I ended up going out that way. Was one of my dearest friends in the world. The two of us started a custom motorcycle company in Toronto. And that actually is what led us to go out to LA. I had done a couple films and been out to LA for the premieres of them and whatnot. Always wanted to get out there. But that's kind of what ended up happening is we started the business back in Canada. And then, 6 months out of the year, you can't test ride the bikes you're building and things like that. So it was very conducive to everything we wanted to do. And the irony of me being in Idaho right now with this snow is that even if I wasn't an actress or didn't have a custom motorcycle shop, I despise the cold. So I always wanted to go out there. So yeah, here I am. But it's fun. It's a trip. So
how do you mix movies and motorcycles? I mean,
that.
those are two such different types of life paths. How do you feel like you blend them together?
I've always been what my mom calls her unique child. I grew up very tomboyish, yet I had the dichotomy of having older sisters who kept me really girly, but my dad had me in every sport and he put me in martial arts at a young age. So I was always, you know, into sports, taekwondo, martial arts, things like that. My fallback initially to acting was to become a pilot. I actually wanted to join the Air Force. So yeah, it was my mom hated it, but I was crazy. I've always been an adrenaline junkie and I was about to enlist and I ended up booking a TV series. So my life went on a completely different path, sliding doors, I suppose. But that just adrenaline junkie in me just always loved motorcycles and creating things. We build one of a kind custom bikes, so we kind of refer to as rolling art. It's another way of being creative. My business partner Adam is incredible. He's just an exceptional bike builder. He comes from the automotive world, so functionality is a big part of what we do as well. They look beautiful, but they work. So it just somehow, being the dreamer, the actress, it was like, hey, in off time, we'd be doing this and tinkering with this bikes and stuff like that. And just, this could be a business. Why not? So maybe if it was a different type of person thinking this couldn't really go anywhere, then that might have been the case. But for me, I've always followed that path of passion and just kind of went from there. So Gasser
Customs is what started in Canada. And it now followed you everywhere you go. And you actually get your hands dirty with it. I've seen, I mean, you got the goggles and the helmets on and everything. So you're doing the dirty work in there as well, which is freaking rad. Props to you.
I absolutely love to weld. Yeah, I never thought I would. Wow. My dad was always like, he would call me up and, how's your day? Just the steering stem nut on the one bike was being really annoying and I had to take it off and the ball bearings, blah, 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 blah. And I just start throwing terms out and he'd be like, yep, never thought my daughter would be talking to me like this. And welding, I actually did a commercial because I was a welder. So it was really funny because I was, looking through the different gigs that were coming out and this commercial specified that you must know how to weld, which I never previously did. So I was like, hey, I could submit for that. And sure enough, the callback was at an actual fabrication shop. And I show up with my own gloves, helmet, all that stuff. I'm like, okay.
How could you not get that gig, Lisa? Set it up.
It was pretty crazy.
That's awesome. Now, were you always into theater in high school, college? What did that look like for you? I want to kind of dig into how you got into the acting big time.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I started out modeling, was on, a Canada Mint coin and did some different things I was on a craft thing for a Halloween campaign and stuff like that. And it was great. It was fun, but I was a little firecracker. So I didn't want to sit still. I wanted to perform. And so my parents got me into, different acting classes and things like that. And I started to get into film. And then theater didn't come until high school, which was interesting. So I got into that and musical theater because I also sing. And that's interesting because I haven't tapped into that skill set probably since high school, but the film that I just shot in Minnesota, I sing in the movie. It's a country film and we sing in it. So
I was going to ask, do you sing in a lot of films that you do? Because I noticed that in the deep dive that you were singing for the soundtrack of the movie that you were doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually my first film that I sang in, so it's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Let's talk about briefly the Ballad of Travis Hunter. Filmed in Minnesota. 100% filmed in Minnesota. Is the setting in Minnesota as well?
The setting is in Tennessee.
Okay.
Huh.
And
like,
okay, so why
in Minnesota?
Why Minnesota? Well, I heard Rochester. Where you?
Okay.
But was it? I don't know. You tell us. What parts of Minnesota were you in? Or
St. Paul was one of the areas that I was in. The crew is from Minnesota.
Okay.
So they're Minnesota-based film crew. Decent chunk of the talent is from there as well. And then they've got people like myself and Eric Roberts and Autumn, I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. forget right now. My brain is post-holiday. But we flew out there to film it, and it was an interesting production as far as scheduling goes, because we started filming last year. We weren't able to do a lot of it because of the whole pandemic thing and different rules and things like that. So it was really fun to get to wrap up everything that I did this year with my character, Kaylee. I just adore everybody that I worked with. You guys have fantastic Minnesota hospitality. So I made some really great friends on the project, and love to work with them all again in a heartbeat. So it was a lot of fun.
And when does that come out? When can we expect that to roll out?
It'll be out next year, 2022. Okay.
Well,
so I don't have an exact release date yet.
No problem. Yeah.
The premise looks really interesting. A struggling country music singer returns home after years spent on the road for one last chance to correct wrongs. And Eric Roberts, I looked that up when you said that. I mean, that's a pretty cool cast there.
He's amazing. I wish I had a scene with him, but I don't, so I didn't have the pleasure of getting to work with him.
Okay.
I actually want to segue from that. You wish you had a scene with him. Is there anyone who you've really wanted to have a scene with that you have had? Or, what was your biggest name that you're like, holy crap, I'm in this moment right now?
Yeah.
I had a scene. I didn't have any speaking lines, so this was a while ago, but it was with Robert De Niro in a movie called Godsend. And that was my biggest starstruck moment. I've had the pleasure of meeting and working with a lot of different actors, but for me, that was like, lit.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, he's a legend, so it was really, really cool. He was very, very gracious on set, and it was pretty great. So that's definitely a highlight for me. I've gotten to meet Sylvester Stallone. I've done different things. I mean, Greg Kinnear was on that set as well, and he was super sweet. Gary Cole, he's a wonderful actor. He played Reese Bobby in Ricky Bobby. He's the dad. He's done a ton of stuff.
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah.
I also saw you were in Four Brothers with Marky Mark and Andre.
Marky Mark? I don't think he likes
Mark
being
Wahlberg?
called it. No.
Sorry.
Marky Mark!
Yeah, Marky Mark. Anyway, I went through your list of awesome stuff that you've been
much for
doing.
getting
And I'm
him
just
on
like,
now.
man, alive. This is really neat. What would you say was probably be your most memorable scene or most difficult?
Oh, that's easy for me. It was the movie that I did. It was called A Kiss and a Promise. It's a very dark psychological thriller. My character is ultimately killed in the film. Not to give
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. And so this scene was very, very dark and very emotional and very difficult to shoot just because of the context. So as an actor, I had to dig really deep
For sure.
for all of that. But again, I was blessed to work with an amazing director, amazing DP. The crew was awesome. So it just makes the experience so much better that way when you're working with great people.
A Kiss and a Promise, based on true story.
Really?
I just read the premise of this. This is I might have to watch this movie.
Okay. Well, please do. I bet Lisa,
so Lisa
would totally love that.
Maybe you covered this, but I missed it. But so then, why Boise, Idaho? How do you make a career as an actress work out of Boise? Is that challenging?
Well, that's what's interesting, especially with what's happened in the industry over the last, I guess, almost couple years now. Everything, self-tapes have always, not always, but in the last decade, I'd say, more and more. Self-taping for me coming from Toronto was a lot more common because we'd be submitting different things out to LA and things like that. But then it started to become a lot more common here. And then with the whole, pandemic thing happening, everything went to self-tapes. And so the nice thing about that for someone like myself is that it made it feasible to now look to other places to move, because it didn't mean you had to be right there in LA anymore. And last December, I shot a film for Lifetime, and one of our actresses in the project, she lives in Arizona. And I talked to her about that on set, and I was like, how has the experience been for you? I want to know, because at the time he was my boyfriend, but me and my husband were considering, moving out of California and like looking around and just experiencing different parts of the country and stuff. And she told me, like, girl, you can do anything now. Like, you don't have to be stationed in LA. You can go back and forth. I mean, we have a truck camper now, so it's not a big deal for me to even do that. And my sister-in-law lives in California, so I still have a place to stay if I need to go out there. But that really helped us to move. And then he has family here in Idaho. And we just love a lot of things about living here. He's a former Marine, so obviously we love to get out there and shoot guns, and he goes hunting, and we love hiking, and we love camping and all of that kind of jazz. So it just seemed like, hey, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, you're pretty physically active, actually. I
Yeah.
wanted to bring up your fitness. Did you have something?
No,
before that?
well, kind of along those lines.
Sure.
It's a great place to live if you like physical activity, especially the outdoor kind. Let's talk about fitness. You had some fitness questions.
We are sponsored by Power Block, so I did want to talk about fitness. And when you deep dive on you have a lot of fitness related things. Now, I wanted to talk about being an actress, what has your workout regime looked like for this whole time to keep yourself motivated?
For me, it's definitely helpful to be an actress and have that as a motivator, because you just never know what kind of gig is going to come around the corner. You've always got to stay in shape. But I would like to accredit my level of fitness and just enjoyment for all kinds of things like hiking and running and lifting weights and things like that. That's just something that my father put in me at a very, very young age. So I will always be physically active, even if I wasn't in the industry. Like I said, I come from a martial arts background and being in all kinds of sports. And then I moved into lifting weights. I'd say, I mean, my dad had me, I got a gym membership at 12. So yeah. And shout out to my pops, because at 65, he decided to cross something off his bucket list. He was a year in remission post-cancer, and he always wanted to compete. So he entered a bodybuilding competition.
Nice.
And the next guy below him that was the closest in age was like 42. And my dad placed 5th. So it was just the ultimate inspiration, motivation, just seeing what he accomplished. Never ceases to amaze as far as like motivation goes. When you're in the gym, you're like, oh, crank out that last set. So for me, my fitness regime now, I would say I go to the gym a lot. Curtis will tell you that. That's how I know him.
Yeah.
I lift. I was in the last few months I was kind of doing a bit of a bulking phase. So I was lifting really heavy for 6 days a week for a couple of months. Now I'm going to shift into more of a shred down phase for the new year. So I'll be adding a lot more running and probably skiing and things like that. But yeah, I guess
snow cardio, whatever that might look like.
Yeah.
Snow style cardio.
We'll see.
There you go.
Gotta find a way to love it.
Have fun.
Yeah.
I want to know,
awesome.
so your favorite glute move. As a woman, what is your favorite glute move?
You say.
Lisa?
I absolutely love training.
I know.
It is my favorite thing
what?
to do, and my absolute favorite exercise is a deadlift.
Oh,
Dig it.
Love it.
I also
Like,
wanted
that's my
to
strongest.
point out to the people listening, you actually had one of the coolest tips or tricks that I've ever seen. You took a swimming noodle and you cut it in half and you put it over the bar to aid you with more padding when you do your hip thrusts.
wow.
That was a brilliant idea.
Innovative.
Yes. And then you
It's
also
so cheap. It's
Well,
like
you
go to the
also-
dollar store, grab a noodle.
another one that I saw, that you got like a 60-pound bag of sand from Home Depot, put it in a duffel bag, and we're just lifting that around. And I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? This chick has some really good ideas.
I got really creative in the last couple of years. I have cats. So, when we weren't able to access the gym, so I was, lifting quite heavy, and then I had no access to any kind of heavy weights. So I went and I bought 2 40-pound boxes of cat litter, and I would just use the 2 of them, and they have the little handles on it. So you can do deadlifts with them. You can do squats with them, presses, like just get creative. There's no excuses. So
That's very creative.
Yes.
That was during the great dumbbell drought, which thankfully we're past.
We're
but
past that.
yeah, with you guys, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. So that's awesome. What was I going to ask? I had one more question before we're going to play trivia.
We are going to play trivia. But I did want to tell you in the intro, I actually was telling Jason, he's like, so tell me a little bit about Lisa while you were deep diving. And I was saying that you are the poster girl for Tom Petty's song Free Fallin'. If I ever heard the lyrics of Free Fallin' by Tom Petty, you would probably be the girl that I would see on the poster.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I wanted to say you really nailed that for me.
I appreciate that very much.
No, I know the song. I love it.
Love Jesus.
And I'm assuming Lisa's a Tom Petty fan.
Are you a Tom Petty
Love
fan?
America. Yep. Pardon?
Are you a Tom Petty fan?
I am. Who's not? Come on.
See, we were saying that in the beginning.
Actually, I believe on an Instagram post I quoted something from that song.
Oh, snap.
That's where I was going to go before trivia. How can people find you? How can they follow you so they know what's coming up next in your, whether it's motorcycles or movies?
My Instagram handle is Lisa Ciara Davis, simply because of the fact that Lisa Davis is very common and I couldn't get that. So I was like, okay, Lisa Ciara Davis. Facebook is Lisa Davis. My company is Gasser Customs. So everything across the board for my motorcycle business is at Gasser Customs. It's pretty easy to find me that way. I do have email for any companies that want to reach out to me through Instagram. You can tap the email button on that.
Dig it.
Awesome.
Pretty easy. Lisa Ciara Davis. I found you really quick on Google. You're right at the top.
Let's do some trivia.
Okay.
Dano, you ready?
All right, it's time for the Fitness Inquisition.
No one ever expects the Fitness Inquisition.
So basically how it's going to work is I've got 5 magical fitness related trivia questions. So the way as I ask a question, you will use your name as your buzzer. So shout out your first name, and the first name I hear, I'll turn the question over to you and you get the chance to answer it correctly. If you get it right, we'll let you know. If you get it wrong, we'll embarrass you. So no pressure whatsoever.
No, we won't.
Okay, so
Meanie.
all right, let's get underway. So the first question of our loosely related fitness trivia is, what is the length of an Olympic swimming pool?
Jason, 60 meters.
That is false.
All right.
No, that's not correct.
Kitty.
Lisa,
Oh, Lisa, go ahead.
Lisa?
I heard you first.
100 meters?
That is not correct either.
That's what I was going to guess, Lisa. So
might be 50. Go with 50.
I'm going to say, per Jason's request, 50 meters.
50 is the correct response. Yes, 50 meters.
Thanks for that one, Jay.
Okay.
I get the assist.
All right. One point for Kitty so far. All right.
Guilty by association.
Next question. Which country consumes the most chocolate per capita?
Kitty.
Kitty?
Switzerland.
Jason.
That is correct.
Oh.
Yes.
It is Switzerland.
Nice. I was going to say that too. Swiss chocolate,
I was
baby.
waiting for that to be wrong, and I was going to say Germany because they got to be close.
They might be
Close to
second. I
Switzerland?
don't know. They are close to Switzerland. Okay. Third question. What is the only natural food that does not go bad?
Jason. Honey.
That is correct.
That is, I knew that
Wow.
one. That's a good one.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is correct.
It crystallizes, but it doesn't go bad.
That's correct. Yes. And I had to emphasize natural because I would not accept McDonald's hamburgers or Twinkies.
Oh,
So-
gosh, yeah.
Come
That stuff
on.
will
Blah.
sit there on the counter for days.
All right. Question number 4. And this is one of those obscure ones that I don't think anybody's gonna
great.
get, but we're going to try it. There are only 2 countries that have not missed a single Olympic event since the modern Olympics. Name one of those 2 countries.
Jason.
Lisa.
Who is it, Dan?
Oh, I heard all 3 at the first time. I'm going to give it to Lisa. Lisa?
Go, Lisa.
Okay. China?
That is not correct.
Go ahead, Jay.
Jason?
Taiwan.
That is not correct.
I'm going to say the good old US of A.
That is also not correct.
Canada.
Do you not remember?
Germany.
I remember when the USA wasn't in there.
I
That
don't.
was in
right.
Soviet
I don't.
Union.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, the correct answers are Greece
Ooh.
and Australia.
Wow.
Good to know.
Dang.
Yeah, there
The
we go.
more you know.
One's a continent also, Dan.
It's a country. All right. And the final
Last
question.
one.
The last question of the day. Dumper, floater, and wipe are terms used in which team sport? Dumper,
Did you say wife?
wipe.
Dumper,
Wipe.
floater, and wipe.
Jason.
Jason?
Water polo.
That is not correct.
That's what I was going to say as well.
dumper, floater, and wipe.
What is that thing that?
Ooh, I think she's thinking of curling.
Curling. Go ahead. We'll give it. Yeah, is that right?
Is it curling?
It is not curling.
That's a good guess, Lisa.
That means Kitty wins. Dang it.
I don't know what it is. I'm gonna say swimming.
Volleyball.
Volleyball.
Yep.
I played volleyball.
Those are
back
pretty
in
good
Boise.
questions,
Never heard
Dan,
any
other
of
than
those
the-
terms. That's
That was a
funny.
good round, Dan.
There you go.
Nice job,
That was.
Lisa.
That was tough.
Thanks for playing.
Kitty wins
Yay.
finally. We had to make her figure.
Thanks, you did that. You did that just for
So,
me. I appreciate it.
Lisa, we appreciate your time, and we think our listeners are going to love hearing from you. And we think that you'll be. I think that. Well, so you're going to stay in Boise. Is that the plan for many years?
I don't know. We kind of decided that we were let's just go out there for a year and see how we like it. Explore this side. I have family in Virginia. My sister lives in Virginia, so that was potentially the next place we might have stopped. But we both really like it here, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what winter does to me.
Understood.
Yeah,
Understood.
really.
Make or break. It really is. Winter's a make or break season.
But it's pretty great. I've enjoyed it.
I look
a
forward
lot.
to seeing the Ballad of Travis Hunter when it does come out in 2022.
Yeah, Minnesota.
You know,
Yeah.
Minnesota. Awesome. And
Absolutely.
thank you so much for your time, Lisa. Thanks for being a part of
my pleasure.
our podcast. We really
Thank you
appreciate
for having me,
your
guys.
energy. Absolutely. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy your snow cardio, whatever that may look like.
I will for sure. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you, Lisa.
Bye.
Recording
She's awesome.
stopped.
Of course she is.
Yeah.
Did you think she would be?
Well, no, of course. I mean, we don't get non-awesome guests, but the I was gonna say, hey, we expect in the future, it's when you hear Boise and famous people, it's Lisa Davis
gonna be
first,
Lisa Davis.
then Aaron Paul.
Okay. Really? He came from Boise?
He's
really?
a Boisean. Yeah, he moved back. He's
Really?
just outside. Curtis was telling me just outside of Boise somewhere. It might be a suburb or just outside of
Ryan
town.
is watching Breaking Bad for the first time right now.
I've seen that show from start to finish 5 times.
Wow.
And I don't do that for anything. It's the best it's a
It
sitcom.
is.
It's not sitcom.
It's really
the
good.
best series I've ever seen.
Although I'll say,
I actually to the point where if you disagree with me, I have a problem. Like, really? You don't think?
okay, well, you can disagree. We agree to disagree. I had to watch it once, right?
Yeah.
But the second time I watched it, I maybe got through like the second season.
Yeah.
And I got so angry and mad after each episode that
Really?
I stopped watching it
Why'd you
because
get-
it ruined my life.
What made you angry?
Well, have you watched Breaking Bad?
5 times.
Well, it made me angry.
Actors playing
And
a
I
role
was,
number
like,
one. So
low vibing.
but-
And I couldn't low vibe anymore.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway,
that
Breaking
character.
Bad. Lisa Davis.
Yeah.
She was a pleasure.
Love it.
Thanks for asking her to be on. If you're listening to this, please feel free to leave us a review on Apple iTunes or now on Spotify. We are sponsored by PowerBlock. Check out powerblock.com to get the
Powerblock.com.
world's best, most awesome adjustable dumbbell on the market.
You should
I'm a little
make
biased.
some sort of like little song, little thing, like
Ra-pa-pa-ra-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa.
POWERBLOCK, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll get
My
right
first
on
name
that.
All right.
is Power. P-O-W. No, not going to work. All right, Jay.
Thanks, Kitty.
Thank you.
Thanks,
We'll
Dan.
see you next week.
See ya.